What does it mean to be free? I asked this question on my story, and I've gotten about 44 votes. 5 people voted no, and 39 people voted yes. In this case, I'd say I'm on the side of the minority. I don't believe that we are all free. But what is free? What am I talking about? Right? Now, I say free, and you obviously think that you have the right to do whatever, you can say whatever, you can do whatever you want. But just because you can, does that mean that we are truly free? My definition of freedom is being able to control your free will without external or internal forces restricting yourself. Being able to say what you want to say, do what you want to do, and live how you want to live is freedom. But with freedom, there should be virtue. Virtue is doing good for the sake of doing good. We are all one. We as in humans, society, the world, like everything, we're all one people. But not all of us are free, and not all of us are virtuous. And I'd argue that in this modern world with modern technology and how some people are controlled by things, I don't think anybody is truly free. Now, freedom externally and freedom internally are different things. Right? Here in America, we have freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of religion. We have the ability externally to, how do I put this? To be free in what we choose to do. But internal freedom in your mind is something completely different that I feel that most people don't really talk about. So why are we not free? Why do I think that most people are not free? The first thing that you must ask yourself is, do I live the way that I want? If you answer no, then listen up, because I'm going to go deeper into this. But if you answered yes, you're wrong. That's what I think. I think nobody, at least the people listening to this, I can't speak for anybody, that I don't think anybody truly lives the way that they want. I say that because there's always something that you can improve upon. There's always something that you want to be better at, that you can get better at, something that you want to control or change about yourself. Right? But if you truly look deep into yourself and you are 100% satisfied exactly with the way you live and truly believe that you need no improvement, then I guess I can't help you. And then if that's true, then I wish I could be you. Like, that's a great thing. If you truly look to yourself and you think that you don't need to change anything and you think that you live the way you want, that is the ultimate goal. And I will never discredit or disparage or disparage or put anybody down that thinks that way. But I do challenge you to be honest with yourself. So if you said no, this is the part I'm going to talk about. Perfect doesn't exist to me. There's something that could always be better. And when you look around your mind, I'm sure you'll find plenty of things that you want to be better. Right? Now, my point begins for the people that say no, and the people that continue to watch this video, this podcast, whatever form you are consuming it on. So there's external and internal pleasures. Not really pleasures for internal. There's external pleasures, and then there's internal emotions. But starting with external pleasures. These are the outside reasons that people are not free. So right now, there is something that controls you in the slightest way. Right? Do you waste your money gambling? Maybe not at a casino, but on sports. How many $10 bets have you thrown on a random touchdown or a random home run over and over again just because it's only $10. Think about all the money that you spent, that you've thrown away, that you don't even realize that you're doing. Obviously, here and there is not that big of a deal, but I want to go more into that. Do you drink too much? Are you in college right now? Are you unemployed, and do you keep having a few beers a night, but then over time, those beers and those drinks stack up over and over again? Do you smoke too much? Are you dependent on weed? I used to know people that would wake up and the first thing they would do before they even open their eyes, they would grab their cart and they would hit and they would get high. Do you scroll on your phone for too long? Doom scroll? How many hours you spend on your phone? I've spent 3, 4, 5, hell, even 6 hours at some points just doom scroll on my phone, and it's like a trap that you can't escape. But you would never consider that to not be freedom. Right? Like, you have the freedom to drink. You have the freedom to smoke and the freedom to go on FanDuel. You have the freedom to do whatever you want. But some things get to a point where they control you, and you are not free from those external pleasures. If you drink too much, you become an alcoholic. And now you're controlled by alcohol. And it may not be a government that controls you, it will be the alcohol. It may not be laws that control you, but it'll be the weed. And maybe you're not controlled entirely, but I think something that a lot of people don't realize nowadays is how addicted you are to your phone. I mean, me, myself, I'm just starting to break this habit. I never realized how addicted to my phone I was until I tried to put it down and not use it for a certain period of time. It's so like hard. I deleted Twitter because that app is fucking terrible, and I deleted TikTok. And now, like, I am bored, but it's a good boredom. Part of me wanted to make this podcast is because I've been reading a lot more and a lot more ancient philosophy. So this is where this is really coming from. Right? But my point is that there are external things that we like to do too much that have a hold on us in a way. Now, am I saying to never drink, never gamble, never scroll through social media again? Of course not. I mean, how could you? These things are part of experiencing and enjoying life. But we must do things in moderation. If you drink too much or spend too much money, you are being controlled by an external factor. You become a slave to those external pleasures. Because true freedom is being able to control yourself and being in control of your own free will. And if you don't control the free will of yourself, then it becomes the alcohol, or becomes the weed, or becomes Twitter, or Instagram. I mean, you might not realize, but you're controlled by an algorithm that feeds you what you want to see every day. So doing too much of one thing kills the thrill it once had. And this is where it starts to trick you. Because the first time you drink, you're like, oh my god, that was so fun. I got drunk. It was this new experience I never, felt before. Like, your head gets all fuzzy and you start smiling more and laughing more. But that stuff kills your dopamine levels. And I'm not going to go deep into dopamine levels. Right? But in turn, you keep doing more and more of that thing to search for that rush again. When in reality, you need to do less of it and come back in moderation. If you drink every day, you're going to try and drink more and more every day to feel that same rush that you had the first few times. But when you drink, I know I'm using drink as an example because it's the easiest one. Let's say if you smoke once in a blue moon, those times are so much better. I've stopped really drinking a lot. I didn't really drink too much, But I would go out to the bar almost every weekend, and now I've stopped, and the times that I do, I have a lot more fun. I have a lot more enjoyable times because I'm not drinking a lot to search for that thrill. But anyway, weaning yourself off of it is what you have to do. Then when you do those things, again, in moderation, it will be more enjoyable. I'm sure that there's something that you do right now that you know you should cut back on, but you're lacking the drive or the willpower or the motive to do so. Maybe you drink too much soda. Maybe you doom scroll instead of reading or meditating. Maybe you eat terribly. Whatever it is, there is something. And in my opinion, it's easier to stop these external habits than some of these internal ones, which I'll go into in a minute. But it doesn't have to just be smoking, drinking, gambling, right? It could be, like I said, drinking too much soda. Do you eat like shit? Do you maybe don't brush your teeth every morning? Do you have bad habits that can be broken? Because habits do control you. You can't stop doing something. And if that thing is bad, it has control of you. Because you are exercising your free will to change it for the better. Which is what you should be doing. You want to live the best life that you can. You want to be the best person you can be, do you not? Now, again, it's not easy. It takes consistent practice over and over again. Right? But I say that external things are easier because you can cut them off in a way. Like, if you doom scroll too much, there are apps that will lock other apps for you. Right? It'll lock Instagram, Twitter. If your diet is bad, you can start buying healthier foods. I know healthy foods are very expensive, but buying foods that are maybe just a little bit healthier than the ones you have now, that's a win. Right? You are able to simply not surround yourself with external pleasures if you have the motive and the determination to do so. But internal habits are a bit harder to break. So, some internal problems. Anger, sadness, anxiety, the list goes on and on. Do you find yourself getting overly angry at little things? Or something that really isn't a big deal stresses you out too much or makes you sad? Lust, greed, gluttony, and many other things can internally control you. Everyone is controlled by an emotion or a state of mind internally. You know, every time I get in my car and someone is going at or below the speed limit, I turn anger into anger from inside out. The little red dude that like blows up when he gets pissed off. That's me. That's what I picture myself. And I hate it. And I know it's not good. And I know it's not the best version of myself that I can be. And I know it's not virtuous. It's not good. Just for the sake of good. Right? Or like when I'm stressed out about school, my job, or something bad just happened, I overthink it. I get super anxious about it. Which is normal. And a lot of people do. But in these moments, it's vital to be aware of your own emotions. And I've been trying to do this myself. And if you're not aware, you can't control it. And if you can't control it, it controls you. So being aware of your emotions is the first step. If you're angry, you have to pause, recognize that you're angry, and think. Almost zoom out. That's kind of how I like to say. In these extreme emotions, it's important to take a deep breath and to zoom out. What I mean by zoom out is you should look at the bigger picture. I don't know if you guys ever played Call of Duty, but there would be times where you could go into like spectate mode and kind of zoom out on the map and look at everything from above, like God mode. That's kind of what you gotta do. You have to slow down, look at the bigger picture, zoom out. Why does it stress you? Why should it stress you out? And is the toll it's taking on you mentally in that moment worth it? I'd say probably not. I think of going back to driving, the guy that cuts you off in traffic. The guy that cut you off in traffic didn't harm you. Overall. Right? And he's already committed a bad act at that moment, which sustained his soul out of pure ignorance for the laws and the rules of the road. So why would you let someone else's ignorance flare your anger up when he's already paying his own price? His payback will come in due time, naturally. And to honk back or flip him off will just stain your soul, and you become just as bad as him. If he cuts you off and you flip him off, you guys are equally just as bad. But him cutting you off is disobeying the rules and the laws that everyone has set. So his soul is already stained. And he will get what is coming to him in due time, which is what I'm trying to say. That nature will take care of him. But if you flip him off or honk or fight back in anger, you make it just as bad for yourself. You can't control him cutting you off. And he's going to drive away and you're never going to see him again. So why get angry back when you can't control it? Why ruin your day and your mental well-being for something out of your own control that happened for a few seconds that merely inconvenienced you? You can only control what you can control. You can't control other people's actions like cutting you off, but you can control how you handle it. It takes a lot of practice, consistently and constantly, to eventually reach the point that you want to reach. Every day training your brain. Stop, pause, zoom out, breathe. What's the situation? Is it that bad? Probably not. Like, what problems does it really come? It's a minor inconvenience, whatever it is. So it's important to zoom out situations. We are rational creatures. That's what differs us from animals. We are human beings. We have a rationale. We can determine what things are good, what things are bad, how we should react, how we shouldn't react. So don't forget that. Like, use that. We have ration in our heads. Right. So you have to do that every day. Whether something stresses you out, gives you anxiety. Maybe you have a big test coming up. Right? Did you study enough? If you say yes, then you should be good. But if you say no, okay, then go study. Simple as that. Again, the outcome of that test is determined upon how much effort you put into studying for that test. If I sit at my desk and study for 2 hours, and I'm very well versed in everything on the exam, I should expect to do well. But if you sit downstairs and you play Xbox all day, and you don't study at all, and you're stressed out about the test, that could have been fixed by studying. And in that moment, if you knew, hey, I'm pretty stressed out about this test, you can zoom out. You can say, I'm stressed out about this test. What should I go do? I should go study. And that's controlling your own free will. That's an example of freedom. You're not being controlled by anxiety or stress. You are exercising your own free will to get up and study for that test. So, in conclusion, I've written a lot of this down. So if it sounds like I'm reading off of something, I am. But I wrote this. This is all my own words. Okay. So in this country and a few others, yes, you are free to say what you want, do what you want, and be what you want. That is external freedom, which we should never take for granted. But true freedom comes from within. Imagine the person you would be if you were free from anger, greed, and anxiety, and external pleasures like gambling and doom scrolling. Hell, imagine the world. Imagine your true potential as a human to be virtuous, to do things for the sake of doing good, to be a good person, and to live a free and fulfilling life. Imagine people around you taking inspiration from the way you live because you have ascended to become the best version of yourself. You've unlocked a new way of life and become a role model for the people around you. You've become virtuous. You've become in control of your own emotions. You have become free. You don't have to imagine it if you start to live it. When you start to live it, it will become reality. It takes practice and consistency every day to train your mind. And I'm on this journey as well. I don't want you guys to think I'm on some high horse up here telling you that you should be this way, you should live this way. I'm going through this journey as well. I'm doing the same thing. And it's not easy. But I truly believe that I will become a better and the best version of myself by doing this. And only then, I truly believe that I will truly be free. So, hope you guys enjoyed that. If you have any questions, comments, leave it down below. If I had to summarize exactly what I said, is that true freedom comes from within. You are free externally, but there are some things that control you in the slightest way that are hindering you from becoming the best version of yourself. So aim to recognize those things and aim to stop them. Aim to work through them. Whether that be external things like gambling, eating well, or I should say eating bad, or internal things that like not being able to control anger or anxiety or emotions. That's the overall theme of this. Hope you enjoyed this little MS philosophy. I really enjoyed it. Let me know if you guys want more. Again, I'm going to post this on my other YouTube channel, My Own Radio. Again, it's called My Own Radio. So, My, M-Y, Own, O-W-N, Radio. The logo is a big smiley face, the old Xbox profile picture. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. And I hope to do more of this because I'm really starting to love this kind of stuff. So, thank you guys for listening, and good night.